Yeah. So we are reviewing we are forming the past participle in Pali. So actually, just 1 to 9, So those who end in the Ramana, when we form as a past participle, so the ending consonant of those who are mostly dropped, like the kata, gata, and the hata or kata. And also, even though that root ending in the ra, but if we use na suffix instead of the ta, so other than such a changing a to the e and na to the na, and rana become the nana, like the dena and the jaina, ajena. And then, so some root ending in the da, at that time we use the na also. So dana become the nana, like the nisena, vasana, and the beina, chaina, and so on. And then sata, so root ending in the sa with the da, so sada become the data, sometimes with the dot, sometimes without dot. So last week we already discussed widely. And also number 5, so some root ending in the da or ba with the aspirate sound. So later become the da da. So why it become in this way also last week we have discussed widely. And also influenced by the ra sound. So da become dante da become the lingua da, or dante na become the lingua na. Actually that rule is not just for the past participle in any word. For example, so we have the one word. So both of them refers to the craving. Sorry. Not about this one. That one is so combination of that one. So ru gaha. So in the anna. Again, ru gaha is so garha. And then so this gara become the gaga. So one of them temporarily drops. So we have the gaha. So but later, when they combine as a single word like the Gehenna, so then not become with the dot becomes a lingua. So influenced by the ra sound. Even though that word, so we don't see that ra, but such a changing can be seen there. So originally because of that ra sound. So for the root guard and the past participle, so here ra, this ra drop, but this does not change to the, da, only kata for as a past participle. So that is because maybe to avoid confusion. So we have the another word like the, so sorry. Rukar and the ta. Maybe that one also past participle ta. So ra draw, but this ta become the ta. So we have the kata, that is like a mat. using as a noun directly. But even though a single word kata, so without dot, but joining with the, so dur and the, so kata, finally we have the dokata. Dokata offense, wrongdoing. So at the time with the dot also we can see that. So that rule is not so fixed in some form with the dot, but in some form without dot. When we see with the dot, so we can find the reason why. So formerly, ra sound existed, but later maybe dropped. But influenced by the ra sound, such as, ta. So da become the da or na become the na in this way simply can be understood. Okay, so now let's move to the next one. Combat. Wait. Yeah. Yes. Civil. So, but in traditional Pali grammar, one grammatical rule, we have the rahaditona. Actually, this ha is misunderstanding. This ha refers to the gaha. Refers to this ha. Actually, not because of that ha. That one is, garha, graha. So influenced by this ra sound. So ra is a retroflex when we, pronounce r or something like that. Yeah. So because of this ra, not changed to the na, so it can be understood in this way. Okay, let's move to the next item. So that, dantata change to the lingua or retroflex is not only in the past participle in any word, so we can find occasionally. And also those monosyllabic root in Pali, so traditionally we So in traditional grammar like the Sadanidi or Gijayana or Padaruba Saiti, and then so like the root dictionary of the Daduta Singha, all those roots are ending in the vowel, like the Gara and Gamu and the Hanna and the Kanu and so on. So, but all of those are not applied in the form drop. So that means those ending vowels are just for pronunciation, just to renounce, just to pronounce. So Gar a bit difficult, but Gara is easy. So to Gamu, Hana, Kana, and so on. So so those who has a Gar in the Ra, so maybe two syllables can be understood with the vowel or without vowel. But some rules are not like that, even in the traditional, like the Ru, so Da, Ru, so Ta, Ru, Ba, and the Ru, Ha. So they have only one sound. So such a root is called the monosyllable. So monosyllabic root. So at the time, when we add those past participle, so the ending vowel of those ending R, so that R is, changed to the E or E. So that one also last week we, analyzed already based on the, vowel system or vowel grade in Sanskrit and in Pali mixing. So because of that here, so when we use those past participle da or na, the ending vowel of such a monosyllabic root is changed to the E or E. And then ha and da. So here the root is currently ending in the ha, but when we add the past participle suffix ha da become the da da. So that one is last week we have not discussed yet. So in Pali, sorry. Maybe you noticed one word like the so ida. So this da reduce. So we have the iha. The same in the ida also here. Iha also here. So to sadhu and the sahu. And then rarely, that ha, so the become the, with the such a the losing vowel, become recover, restore also can be found in some word. Maybe because of that, root is ending in the ha and the da. So before that, maybe this da, reinstalled. So because of that here, so we have the da and then. So in this way, and then later with the dot also. In this way, maybe one word you remember even in Parliament easy. So a bit very fast. One word to be landed. A bit yeah be landed. So the word be landed when we check in the dictionary. So a bit very fixed. Root is actually naha. And the sign is R and the actually not just sign R with the negahida rudadi before the ha. But this ruha originally maybe nad. So that is when that da become reinstalled. So before that na. So based on that, and this na become the la later. So be landed in this way. So at the very beginning drop. So be landed. So such a recovery also can be found in Pali. So because of that here, so even though currently we can see the root is ending in the ha, so after the past participle da, so become the da. So but can be understood. So da is silent formally in this way can be understood. So to understand, we are forming logically. So that is a ha da become the da in this way. So this ha da also actually here. So change. This one is quite irregular, a bit difficult to explain logically. So that one very strict maybe. So many steps. So a also change to the u and later become u and so on. And then so ha and da change their position and da become the la and that la also become with the dot. That one is maybe only 2 or 3 forms in Pali. Wu la and the ru la. Not more than that. So such a how to say a bit difficult to explain such a form also we can find that. Maybe some scholar explain in a strict, complicated way. So, but not so many. That is why. So I will skip that one. And then such a labialization in Pali. So 2 way of changing. So palatalization and labialization. So palatalizer become the palatal consonant. So commonly those dental group like the da, na, joining with the ya. So dia. So that dia, when we pronounce quickly become, ja. So that is called, ja is palatal sound, but that formally dental sound. Because this ya also palatal sound. So that doesn't change following to the ya, but not ya. So da become the ja or ja in this way. So such a changing called the palatalization. So technically, but for the labialization, so labialization is commonly in vowel. So before that, we can see such a vowel, consonant like the ba or ma or wa something. So after that, like the ba, ma. So consonant is labial, but vowel is guttural. So at the time in some form, such a ba change to the bu, ma change to the mu, may wa change to the wu. So actually not the whole ba change to the bu. So ba here also ba. Only vowel is changing. So that is because ba, ma, wa are so labial letter influenced by that sound. So that guttural vowel change to the labial. So that one also can be understood as a labialization. So those scholars, linguistics, they explain in this way. But in diploma, to understand easily what change to the wu or change to the u or something like that. Even in the traditional grammar also, without reason they explain directly. So because of wa, wu, ma, mu, so that is called the labialization. And also some special changing. So here ja to the da. So commonly it should be ja da become the ja or da should be, but instead become the so da with the dot. So that one also that ja is not original sound. Commonly, so those sibilants, sha and the sa and the sa in Sanskrit, but in Pali only one sa. So this sha, so in Pali, sometimes appear as a sa. Sometimes appear as a ja, and also sometimes based on the connected with the ja also. So because of that, so that this ja not originally ja coming from replace for the sha, so joining with the da. So at the time this ja that become the so ta in this way can be understood. So that is why, for example, some word akashi, maybe in Pali eki, some word with the up former one. So I could not remember. So such a change also can be seen, ichi or something like that. So ichariya, ashariya. So such a change can be seen. So because of that, formally that one is coming from that sha sound, but in Pali appear as a ja. But joining with the past participle, that's such a change. Okay, so now these 11, reducing that what changing also not only in the past participle. So number 10 and number 6. 10 and 6 are not only in the past participle, in other words also can be found. So the other 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, and 9 are. So we are forming in past participles specifically. But the rest past participles are very simple. Any consonant ending in the root. So following to the da, that means ka da become the da da, ja da become the da da. So for example, so that is common way, changing. So root booch and the da, so ja da become the da da. So we have the Buddha and so on. So all of those past participles changing in this way, very simple, we can understand. Only so 8 rules are specific. That is why root wa, so and the da. So ba da become the da da, ba a change the u. Also we have the wok da. And then root watch. Also we have the wok da. And then root wad also we have the wok da. The same form you see. Changing, so ba da, ja da, da da, and ja da change to the da da in this way. So but based on meaning in the content, so can be understood. So coming from the root wap. So what means to grow or to plant? What and what are to say? So to said in this way can be understood. So these are way of forming the past participle briefly. So now let's go to the usage of them. So past participles actually can be two, active and the passive. Even in the Parliament also already explained. So commonly past participle is passive, but some rules are intransitive. So they don't need the object to provide the meaningful. So that is even though they are formed in past participle, mean active, just act like the ta to stand. So tita also stood, just stood. So to nisena also sitting. So that is why even though stood, but standing also can be. So based on their nature, for example, rupkat mean to do. Okay, if we say that karomi, I do. When we say something to someone, I do. So maybe your friend will ask, what do you do? Because your staying is not completed. You need to put something, I do my homework, or I do walking, or I do looking, or something. So to be meaningful, we need to add something. So such a root easily can be understood, transitive root. Or, sakamaka dadu in Pali need the object to fulfill the meaning. But some root, for example, the root C, to lie down or to sleep. I'm lying down. Okay, I'm lying down. We can understand. So we don't need to. Maybe if we ask just a place, where do you lie down? Only a place, no object. So that is when such a root is called the intransitive or agamaga dhatu. So based on that root, type, so that past participle coming from the, intransitive, no object there. And then forming the past participle da or not. So that one will be active. But transitive, sakamaka dhatu. So that one will be passive. So in this way, two kinds. So based on that, for example, so Buddha saw, so Sayati, a man lies down. But Sayati, we replace with the, Sayita or Sayito as a past participle. Buddha saw Sayito also. A man just lying down. We don't need to change anything because it is active. But so passive is not so simple. So for example, no. So Buddha saw Badam Bonjeti. So a man eats a meal. But if we replace Bonjeti with the Bogda as a past participle, so at the time it should be Bogda. And also Buddhisa will be Buddhisena. So Buddhisena Badam Bogda. A meal is eaten by a man. So focus is changing. not on the subject, just on the object. Because of that, it is called the passive. Focus is changing, even though writing in this way, or baddam, Buddha say not both door or both them, or something what order, changing or without changing also. But a meal is eaten by a man. So focus is just on the object. So that is why it is called the passive. So in this way, two kinds of the past participle, active or passive. So coming from the root, intransitive root, that will be active. Coming from the transitive root, that will be passive. So based on that type, so usage also in this way will be different. So that is a two past participle, active and the passive. And also perfect active participle. So in Parliament Easy Lesson 21, so like the possessive adjectives to the past participle word by adding the want or are weighing. So we have the Bodha may eaten, but Bodha we or Bodha want, so have eaten, become active again, one who has eaten. So for example, so Buddha saw Bat and Bonjadi as a simple sentence. A man eats a meal. But if we change Bonjadi as a, Bogdan. So at that time, Baddan is Baddan. But Buddhism should be Buddhisena. So Buddhisena, Baddan, Boddan. The meaning is a meal is eaten. But that Boddan past participle, so if we add the want, Bodha want, and so Bodha wa as a nominative case, singular. So at that time, so again, Buddhisena become the Buddhiso. So simply Buddhiso, Baddan, Bodha wa. But the meaning also changed. A man so has already eaten a meal. So perfect active participle. But so grammatically in this way, but in Pali canon, such a usage has already lost. Instead of using as a predicate, so Baddan Bodhavi Bhagawa, Baddan Bodhawa Bhagawa in this way, only as a modifier adjective we can find. So Bodhawa or Wusitawa or Wusitawi, Bodhawi, and so on. So in this way. So here, I explain just to understand. So from the basic verb, so we have the past participle. And the sentence structure also changing. From the past participle passive become the past participle active, perfect active participle. So in this way can be, understood. And then so we are using that past participle here, maybe passive perfect participle, just passive participle. So that past participle passive can be used as a predicate, and they can be translated by the past tense. So that one in Pali made easy, already explained, but so to record that. For example, so coming from the root bat. Root bat means to fall down. So as a past participle, we have the patita. So one important point we need to remember. So in Pali, we say the nama. So that nama, grammatical term, when we translate into English, so that one commonly we translate as a noun. Even though we translate as a noun, but not like an English noun. So English noun means like a man, a woman, a tree, a monastery, a dog, a pen, a book. But in Pali, even though we say noun, so that noun refers to the all declinable one. Declinable words are called the noun in Pali, nama. So that is under that nama, so basically noun also included, adjective also included, and the pronoun, and the other symbols, numeral, number also, are also, included. So that is, this patita, actually adjectives, but we say just nama because it can be declined like the badido, badida, badita, and so on. And then, so it has nature of the adjective. So in Pali, not just in Pali, in English also, so adjective has mainly two functions. So one is to modify a noun. A second one is to use as a predicate or paragraph. So based on that, the adjective or past participle can be, by way of translation. So, for example, to modify a noun, that is adjective function. Modify a noun. So, for example, badita. So that badita so fallen, and also that has fallen. And then, so that had fallen also based on the context can be understood. And then as a predicate, or as a paragraph, so instead of fallen, so as a past simple fell. And then as it has fallen, as above. And in this way can be understood. So the first reads are adjective function or modifier. The second reads are as a predicate. So that is why, So badito roll call even in Parliament is already a fallen tree or a tree that has fallen or a tree that had fallen. And also as a predicated like the so roll call badito. A tree fell down or a tree has fallen or a tree had fallen. So in this way can be understood. So that is way of using that past participle. So maybe when it is used as a past participle to differentiate as a past perfect or present perfect or past perfect like the badito, hoti or badito, hosi as a so that one is like a have in English. So in some texts can be found in this way. So that is way of using that past participle in Pali. So that is number 3. So passive perfect or passive participle used as a predicate or can be translated. So using as an adjective also 3 ways. Using as a predicate also such 3 ways can be understood. And then so past participle passive or root implying motion. So maybe transitive root takes as an accusative like the root gam. So root gam is even though logically in nature, so it has no nature of the transitive root, but in Pali grammar or Pali language, that one is considered as a transitive root. So like the gaman gechati. But so gaman gechati. So for example, Gama is not real object actually. Object may affected by that action. So even though we go there or not, that village is already exist. So that is just location, the target of motion. Target of motion, so just location, but considered as an object in Pali grammar. So that is what the gaman gechati. So not game gechati. So in this way. So because of that, the later that the root gam also, even though it is not real, it transitive, but so grammatically it is considered as a transitive. That is why later passive form also gamo, gandabo or something such a usage also can be found. So about that one, past participle passive or root implying motion, motive verb. So referring to the movement, going or coming or running and so on. And then, now number 5, when the participle passive is used predicatedly, so hoti is generally understood after that. So hoti or hosi, I already explained under the number 3. To refer to the present perfect, there will be hoti. To refer to the past perfect, there will be hosi and so on. And then the agent of the past participle passive will be instrumental case. That one also we already know, so difficult. And then that past participle passive may be translated as a present participle in some form. So even though that is past participle, but can be used as a present participle also in some cases. So that one is referring to the, for example, so like the Puriso Kato. So that means a man who is going. Even though it is past participle, but like a kachando, the meaning can be understood. So Puriso Gamangato, a man who is going to a village in this way. So those past participants coming from the intransitive, so can be understood in this way also. Okay, let's stop for today.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.